Hello everyone, welcome to class 2B. So today we are going to study about the following portions: air suspension system, automatic level control, gas filled shock absorber, independent suspension system. First, air suspension system. As you know that the basically the suspension system which is designed to give some cushioning or the cushioning effect or some constant height, okay, maintain some constant height for a load, okay, about the in the automobile system. The suspension system basically giving some effect, okay, some cushioning effect, and also giving some height regard with the load actually, okay. So air suspension system which is introduced in 1950s, and also which is it is giving a leveling system, okay, for shock absorber by using a rear shock absorber, okay. So air suspension system which having an engine driven compressor and a supply tank and a filter or a condenser and valve piping and control with the air springs. So the compressor which is maintain a constant pressure in the air supply tank, and also the air is piped to a control valve while when we give to feed air into the spring inside and each spring which is needed. So the pressure is automatically increased on the either side of this front and rear, which is required for the keep the vehicle into a desired height from the road actually, okay. So this is a schematic diagram for an air suspension system. You can see that here which is independently connected by an system, okay. So you can see that in the figure there is a air tank is in the center, and also an air compressor or a compressor is there, and also a solenoid valve is there which is giving air supply to each separate wheels actually, okay. So there is an air balloon actually, air below, and in this one air is stored, okay. When the one of the wheel is compressed actually, then the air below, the air is passing to this our chamber through the valve to the chamber and to the tank, and the air tank is which is maintain the pressure of this total system actually, okay. So what is automatic level control? So all the springs which are not used for the automatic level control system, okay. So in the rear, the shock absorber which gives or the which extend or compress in the bearing the rear to the system, okay, in a level of front actually. So the basic components of this automatic level control is air compressor, there is a reservoir tank, and also a pressure regulator and hoses, and a flexible airline, and high control valve and special shock absorbers, okay. This system is earlierly introduced in the Ford cars actually, okay. So one or two systems which is uses in the airbags in a conjunction with the rear coil springs. So this system is having some a reservoir or a pump, and also with some airbags and some nylon tubing, okay, and some metal fittings for and connectors. So in the later models, the Ford car are used and the automatic level system, and they after a load of 400 lbs is needed for the vehicle, okay. And the there is a load actually they are maintaining, and after if the load is maintain greater than if the load we are giving is greater than this 400 pound actually, then what happens, this automatic level system is using, okay, that valve is used, and it control that air actually airflow. So when the load is lower than this vehicle, a specific level of air sleeve or the rear shock absorber is inflates, and which extend or rising the vehicle to maintain this design height actually. So when the load is removed air sleeve, shock absorber deflate the lower the vehicle to the design height. So force rear height, actually rear suspension automatic load leveling system is introduced actually, okay. So Ford is used actually for the rear suspension this automatic load leveling system, okay. So in the case they are used a compressor and air bleed valve and a pressure reservoir and a tank the same actually, okay. So in the lever on the height control valve which is attached to the rear system, and which is upper arm by means of a link actually. Okay, so the control valve is senses riding height and either admit or this exhaust high pressure into or from the air sleeve on the shock absorber. So as a time delay mechanism is giving the control of this height valve. Okay, so this height valve which is prevent the air when the lever is moving during the normal ride motions. So here you can see that there is a gas filled shock absorber. Okay, so there is an actual picture and also you can see the cross sectional picture actually. So in this picture you can see that there is an oil and the gas mixture is introduced in the gas filled shock absorber. So you can see that this is a new concept, okay, for the driving or riding pleasure. Okay, so in this system, which is automatically adjustable double action shock absorber. So inside there is a highly pressurized gas N2, that is nitrogen gas we are filled inside, and all weather fluid. Okay, that means the oil cannot change depends upon the weather actually. Okay, that is why we say all weather fluid, which help to maintain this bounce and same way which deliver the more comfort for the ride. Okay, so that is why it lets bounce and the same way improve their steering and cornering actually. Okay, while cornering, while we are moving in a corner or while we are turning in a vehicle, so it gives a less bounce actually. So inside, in addition to this, the road contact, which is road top road contact means is lesser. That is why we can save the vehicle from the wear actually. Okay, tire or wearing the tire actually. Okay, so these features mightly magnify this importance of the vehicle with the radial tires actually, like a sports car for the performance. So the construction features for this system is first one, the breakage is reduced actually, and seamless eye ring mountings. So oil leakage is reduced by self-sealing packing. Okay, in this system, and rubber cushion provide which shock absorb the extreme extension stroke actually. Okay, now the it is chromed hard chromed piston rod is used, which reduces the wear and tear. Okay, wear and tear of this whole system, so that is why which is also minimize the friction. So and also there is a constant performance. Okay, constant performance which is provided by this system, like so that is why we it is a wear resistant piston ring we are introduced, and large diameter seamless steel cylinder is resist for this splitting. Okay, so the both extension and compression valve which are located in the piston for the quick response to the forces either direction. Okay, so you can see now the topic is independent suspension system. So there are basically two types of suspension systems are there. One is dependent system, another one is independent system. So you can see in this figure, the above one is the dependent system and the below one is the independent system. In the above dependent system, you can see that the tires or the wheels are directly connected to this frame actually. Okay, so you can see that in here in this one, if one of the wheel is climbing to the bump, then the other wheel is also affected actually. Okay, so the other wheel is also affected, but in the next independent system, when one wheels is climbing the bump, then other wheels doesn't have any effect actually, or other wheel not affected. Okay, so that is the difference, main difference between the dependent system and the independent system. Okay, so independent system, what is independent suspension system? So in earlier version of this system is known as the trailing link suspension actually. Okay, so it uses a set of arm which is located head of the vehicle to support the unsprung mass. So what is mean by unsprung mass? So there is two types of masses in the automobile system. One is the sprung mass and unsprung mass. So unsprung mass, it is a mass of the wheel, like wheels, axles, wheel, all these masses are unsprung masses. Okay, so in essence with the wheel trails and the suspension links, so here we are using the suspension links actually. Okay, so independent in the independent suspension system we are using some links, etc. Okay, So independent suspension which improve the riding characteristics, and also it takes a less suspension space actually. Okay, so you know that the vehicles are having a lesser space. Okay, so we could require a less space for a suspension system. So the first mass which is produced, the front suspension design is a solid beam axle, which is that is used in the earlier systems, but today it is used in the heavy vehicle, heavy duty trucks only. Okay, so solid beam axle, which is the first independent suspension system, solid beam axle. Okay, now, if we look into the advantages and disadvantages, solid beam axial suspension system, which is more desirable, but which is not far desirable for the passengers car, because passenger cars having a lesser space, so that is why we are using independent system for the this one. Okay. So we are providing this solid beam axial system only for this heavy truck and trucks, etc. Okay, so one of the new types of independent system is swing axle system actually. Okay, so as the name implies, there is a pivot actually, that axle pivot which is located somewhere near the center of the car and allow the wheel to travel up and down through their respective arc actually. Okay, so there is this for the rear suspension we can be found in the this type of system we can found in the old Beetle cars actually. Okay, right. So here you can see there are different types of independent systems. One is McPherson strut type. Second one is wishbone type independent suspension. Third one is the vertical guide suspension. Fourth is trailing link suspension, and fifth one is the swinging half axle suspension. See here you can see two figures of systems. One is the you can see that this is a swing type actually. Okay, last one swinging half axle suspension, and also the vertical guide type suspension. So the first system, that is a swinging half axle suspension system, you can see here. Yeah, so this is a swinging half axle, so you can see that this blue color indicates the axles, and this is actually swinging half axle. So this is a half perfectly, it makes a two half actually. Axle is made up of two half, and you can see that there is a yes, there is a suspension system, two suspension systems which is connected with these axles, and in the upper part which is connected with our body. Okay, so these half axles are independent and which move are connected to the chassis or the differential. So these two are connected with this chassis actually. Okay, so in here you can see that there is a vertical guide type. Okay, so here this system is connected with a coil spring, and this is our cross member of the vehicle, and this is our upper spacing rod actually. Okay, so you can see that there is a another system for the coil spring system, and two separate systems are there actually provided. Okay, so that is a vertical guide type actually. Now you can see the other three, the MacPherson and the double wishbone and trailing arm suspension, you can see independently. Okay, you can see how the systems are there actually. Okay, so first one we are using the MacPherson system. This is early 70s system actually. Okay, in this system you can see that the most popular systems in the wheel front wheel drive cars actually. So these are used in from the 70s, and this is the one of the system which is the most popular system in the front wheel drive. Okay, so in this one it is a strut based system, and in this one you can see that there is a shock actually that connected the steering knuckle actually. So this is a steering knuckle, and this shock absorber is directly connected to this one, and the upper part of the shock absorber is connected to the frame, and you can see that the wheel is connected to our this wheel hub, and that wheel hub is connected to the wishbone arm, and then it is connected to the frame actually. Okay, so the actual picture is like this actually, and this is a schematic. Okay, right. So you can see that in this one it offers a simple and compact suspension package, and it is also for the front wheel drive cars. It is used commonly used for the front wheel drive cars, and it is very cheap, and it gives a good ride qualities and compact in dimension. So the trailing style, which is it is an independent suspension system actually. Okay, so this is one of the independent system, and you can see that when the load is acting on this side, what happens when the wheel is on having a load, then this shock absorber is acting independently each wheel actually. Suppose you imagine that when the wheel is uh, in the gutter or a bump, then what happens, this only wheel is giving having that effect actually, and no other wheel is having any other effect. Okay, now the second system, we know that that is a wishbone, double wishbone system. In this system, you can see there is two types actually. One is a parallel type and another one is a double A cross type actually. So double A type and parallel system. Okay, so here you can see there is a shaped control arms which is resemble a wishbone actually. So this is a upper wishbone arm, and the bottom is the lower wishbone arm, and there is a coil spring inside. Okay, so this is a tapper pin which is connected to the wheel actually. Okay, right. So in this system, there is a supported by a triangulated A arm, and at the top and bottom of the knuckle. Okay, so earlier this design having an equal length of the upper and lower arm, okay, which is mounted parallel to the ground. And then many research work is going on, and after this designing and implementing and experimental, this double equal length A arm suspension is very apparent, and that is needed, um, and that is very satisfactory for this performance. But that unequal length is very efficient. Later we find out that this unequal length of this double A arm suspension is very effective than the equal length of this double A arm. Okay, and the negative camber which is occur when it was compressed. Okay, so this can be problem can be solved only by implementing this different length double A arm. Okay, so you know that what is a negative camber. In the previous class, I told about this camber and the casters. Okay, so in the negative camber, when occurs, when it is compressed, there is a problem because of this negative camber occur, and we can solve by using this different length of double A arm of this wishbone system. We can reduce that negative camber. Okay, right. So anyway, thank you. This is all about this suspension systems. Okay, thank you.